Hello guys, welcome to Cabin Fever Minus 40. Today we're going over patch knives. Now you may ask yourself, what is a patch knife? Well, a patch knife is used for when you're muzzle loading. It is a traditional style knife, preferably with wood handles, preferably not a stainless blade. So you may be asking yourself, why would you need a patch knife? Well, patch knives are for when you're out hunting or just target shooting with a muzzleloader shooting round balls. This is a 50 caliber round ball. Now, for when you're doing that, sometimes you'll use patching like this, sometimes you'll use pre-cut patching. I prefer this type of patching. So what you do with this is you stick one end in your mouth, you suck on it, and when you get ready to shoot, every time you're shooting, you place the patching over the end of the muzzle, place the round ball on the patch, shove it down like your short starter. This is a bone handle one. Just use the flat edge of it. You push it down until it's flush with the muzzle. Take the patching, wrap it, pull this tight, take it, and cut the patching off. Okay. And if you're wondering how to make this kind of stuff, I will have another video coming out pretty soon on how to make it. It's very simple. So, give me 1 second, I'll show you a collection of knives, and I'll show you which are the best for patch knives. So, you may be asking yourself, what does a patch knife need to be a patch knife? First, it needs to be small and compact, lightweight, with a blade typically, I'd say, between 2 and 4 inches. Much over 4 inches and they start becoming unwieldy. You can go longer. This is one of my favorite patch knives, and this has a 5-inch blade. Don't use it that much, but it is a very good patch knife. Now, number 2 is thickness. This is a Bowie knife, and this is a patch knife. Patch knives need to be fairly thin, no more than 1 millimeter thick at the thickest. That's approximately 15 thousandths. This Bowie, it's about 4 to 5 thick. Also, it's got an 8.5-inch blade, a little bit too long. So, what's another thing a patch knife must have? A patch knife must be able to be used effectively for multiple different tasks. Mostly it's going to be used for cutting patches, but also you can be using it for cutting up dinner. You can use it for cutting small sticks. You can use it for a lot of different things. This one particularly has a saw on the back. This is a custom. So another thing a patch knife must have must be fixed blade. Yes, knives like this are very nice, and you can use them if you're in a pinch, especially if you're out, just say hunting, especially like deer, where you might be shooting once the entire day and you just need to reload that one time. Carrying an extra knife might not be what you want to do. So something like this might work. It's got a fairly thin blade. It's not exactly super thin, but it isn't super thick either. It's about the thickest you want it to be. This is a serpentine jack, made by the same company that makes the old timer knives. Very good knife. But if you're going to be shooting like at targets, if you're shooting at targets, it's not too bad. You just leave it open. But if you're out doing a woods walk target shoot, which are pretty common for muzzleloader clubs, or you're out, say, squirrel hunting even, you might be shooting 2, 3, 4, 10, 20 times. So, a knife like this might not be the best. So another very good knife is this Charade. This is my personal EDC. I spent $30 for this at Cabela's. You can get them for cheaper at Sportsman's, but I didn't find that out until after I bought it. So if you're buying one of these, try and go to Sportsman's. And no, this is not a sponsored video. So, this knife is very nice. It's very traditional, very lightweight, very nice and easy to handle. And these do not come with a screwdriver tip in it, but my tip kept breaking off, so I just took the grinder and gave it a screwdriver tip. That will avoid warranty. But another thing about it is it's got a very thick spine. This is even thicker than my Bowie knife. So this might not be the best knife for a patch knife. It'll work alright in a pinch, but if I was going to be shooting a lot, I wouldn't use it. Another thing is knives like this. This is just a cheap cooking knife. You can get them at pretty much anywhere. It's too dang long though. This is a 6-inch blade. Not very practical. I wouldn't use something like this as a patch knife. I do carry this knife, however, in my backpack when I'm out hunting. It's a very good knife for that. Doesn't weigh very much. Fairly inexpensive, so if I lose it, I won't be heartbroken. Unlike if I lost something like my very nice buck knife. That I'd be pretty upset. But it's just a little bit long. Now, every once in a while for cutting patches, like I said, if you're out big game hunting and you're only going to be shooting once or twice, that might be a very good knife option. Doesn't weigh a heck of a lot. Fairly compact, and you can even use it for skinning game if you have to. Another thing, it must be a smooth edge. This is a serrated steak knife. Just very cheap, generic serrated steak knife. You can get this at your local thrift store for about $3-4. But the thing with the serrations is they don't do very good for cutting cotton patches. Another thing, it must be a fairly sturdy knife. Now, I'm not saying it has to be bomb-proof or anything, but something with really cheap, cheesy plastic handles, not very good. Now, I'm taking it, if you're shooting a traditional style muzzleloader, you probably want a knife that's more traditionally styled, like this one, or this one. Which would mean like knives like this one. Yes, this is a very good hunting knife. I actually like this knife for hunting. It is very sharp, holds a very good edge, very sturdy knife. But it's just not very traditional. It's got a plastic handle, although it is a very nice plastic handle. But it's not exactly the best knife in the world for everything. Other knives like this. This is another good hunting knife, and I do use this one. It is a very sharp, very strong, very sturdy knife. It is on the thicker side, but it's not so thick that I would not consider it. Very sharp edge, very sturdy, very short blade, very good knife option, except for it's got the fingering. That's not very traditional, if you ask me. Now, you might like it because it's extremely light, and this is made by Crict, C-R-K-T, and it's a very nice knife. This is the Alaskan, I don't know how to say that last word. Let's see if it'll focus in. But yes, it's a very nice knife made by Crict. Now, like I said, pocket knives aren't very good, but this is a tool I always keep in my muzzleloader kit. Hardly weighs a thing. Cost me $2 at a garage sale. Got a knife blade, got several other tools, most notably a big flathead screwdriver so I can use it for removing the drum screw. Other knives like this. This is a very nice knife. Well, not very nice, but very solid, very sturdy, not too breakable, and definitely not expensive knife. This thing would cost you $2-3 at Value Village. Very good knife. Now, this is a nice knife. Very good for skinning small game such as squirrels, rabbits, other stuff like that. Anything other than that, I wouldn't really try using it. But this won't really work as a patch knife. doesn't really, you need that long cutting area of the larger blade, which is why a 2" is the minimum length for a patch knife blade. This has got about 1" long, and this was made out of a nail. That leaves us about a couple options left here. The purpose-built patch knife. This is going to a friend, so I will not be selling this particular one, but if you want ones like this, you can. I sell them for about 15-20 bucks. Their handles are very sturdy. Got the saw on the back, sharp blade, made out of, now, I'll tell you a little secret. These are made out of saw blades. I make them out of saw blades so they got A, really nice high carbon flexible steel, and B, I don't have to add each individual serration on the back. Very nice knife. Other knives, like this one. This is a butcher block quality stainless knife. Now, I said in the beginning, I don't like stainless knives for patch knives. The reason is just because they're not the most traditional. Now, I do like this knife. Very compact, lightweight. Blade is a little bit on the long side, but I can get over that because it's got a very nice edge and it got a wooden handle, which is very big for a patch knife. Now, these knives can be had for between $2 and $5 at your local thrift store. You're not going to be finding these knives as commonly as the plastic handle ones because they're not as common. People like plastic nowadays. Don't ask me why. But it is a very good knife for cutting patches. I do use this one, and I do have a belt sheath for it. Now personally, for a patch knife, I prefer a neck sheath made of leather. A leather neck sheath is about the best option you can get for a patch knife. This knife, a little bit big for a neck knife, but not too big, just at the border. So, if you want to be seeing more videos like this, please like, share, and subscribe, and stay occupied, and I'll see you later.